Thought it maybe it was. I'm not really, I don't think it's a painter, that's for daggone sure, so, yeah.
I'm not a painter by stretch of the imagination either.
Yeah, that's.
I told
Did
him
you
that
get
he-
one of these?
Yes, I
Or
told him
both?
he had to go.
Well, I wasn't sure if it just come to one of us or if we each got one.
I already RSVP. You need to RSVP for you?
I don't know, I gotta check on that day.
Police dogs.
Yeah. Oh, nice, sure.
I didn't.
It's on Thursday.
7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, but if you got something at 8:30, I don't think I'll be.
You're not there very long.
Yeah, good
I sure
question.
didn't go there long.
Day after.
I just wasn't sure how long it lasted or.
Yeah, not that long.
Well, yes, that's something. Sometime in January, I got a class thing I got to attend.
Oh,
I don't know, I gotta check to see when it is, I'm not sure. Okay, let's call the meeting to order.
Sim,
Here.
Price,
Yes.
Mears,
yes.
Baker, present.
The December 11th minutes.
I make a motion to accept the minutes from December 11th.
That's second.
Mears,
Yes,
Price,
yes.
trustee Price,
Yes.
Sim,
Yes. Okay, then the minutes from the December 17th. Meeting.
I move to accept those minutes from the 17th December.
That's second.
Mears,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Sim,
Yes. Okay, payment of bills.
I move we accept.
I second.
Price,
Yes.
Mears,
Yes.
Sim,
Yes. Okay, the supplemental appropriations. So on them supplemental appropriations, since one of them was made before Ron Price was in office, is he able to vote on that or?
Not the ones from July 17th
do
to
we-
August 8th, so we can do 2 resolutions.
Well, I didn't know if we needed one, yeah, I didn't know which way we needed to do that. Okay, the July 17th one, I make a motion, we approve the July 17th one.
I second.
Sim,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
you'll have to abstain.
I have to abstain on that, because you weren't in.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one, yeah. Okay, then the other supplemental appropriations, I make a motion to approve of those.
Second.
Sim,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Price,
Abstain.
you can vote on that, Ron, because
Okay.
we're after your time.
Yeah,
All
that,
right.
no.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Okay. The Mayor Seagraves, I guess you each got a letter about that, his prayer breakfast, the 10th of January. Plan on attending, you need to RSVP by the 3rd. So,
What time is it?
7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Did you get the letter or not?
No.
Okay, there's a copy of the letter. I wasn't sure if everybody got one.
I got a letter from the Brookville Star addressed to police chief Ron Price. Sorry, Tim, you're out of deal.
That happens, you know?
Can't get things straight, apparently. Okay. And then the next thing is the RNB trucking, bad motor labor. And I'm still working with that. I've got a couple things I need to check with Tim about, seeing if he's got, I don't know. I don't know if you do or you don't. I mean, everything's, it would have been prior to you, and maybe you don't know where they're at, or, I don't know, but to see, yeah. So, we'll see what we can come up with on that. I guess the main thing is the reimbursement for the labor, because we obtained a motor that had a problem. Maybe you didn't even know that.
No.
So yeah, they put one in the cruiser, and it's like, after it got in there, it's like, this thing don't run or something, and it turned out there was a problem with the motor, so then had to be taken back out, another motor obtained, but we had the labor incurred in that. And
Okay.
it was under a warranty, and so it's trying to get them to take care of that labor part.
Okay.
So,
That was the motor we got from Advance, wasn't
uh,
it? Or no? we got it from
O'Reilly's, through O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have road and cemetery.
For the year, as far as for the year, we've had 26 funerals. We've got, I hate to sound bad, but we got 4 for the books for next year already. I mean, they're cremations, and they're holding out till their stones are set or the names are engraved on stones. If we would have had them this year, it would have been our average 30. Other than that, we haven't used much salt. to this point for the year. We're good on that, full bin. We need this ground to freeze. We got 2 huge ag streets to take down. Waiting for the ground to freeze so we can work around that. As soon as the ground freezes up, we'll take them down, but we're in the shop, maintaining equipment right now, going through them. 10-ton trailer, 91 10-ton trailers in there now, we're going through it. Brakes, axles, wiring. But service work on the trucks and so forth, trailers, equipment, mowers, cemeteries for next year.
Oh, what do I want to say, seating, all the seating, did that all get finished, fixed on schoolhouse?
Schoolhouse is done, we do have a couple
Sure.
drains to put in that, after the fact, you go back and after we do our work, we find either low spots or anything, we had 2 drains put in there.
Yeah, I thought that was all, but I wasn't sure
Yeah.
if it all got,
Well, that, we got them culverts put in on the bridge, but gotta wait till it dries up.
wow, totally a mess this year. They said on the news yesterday that with the rain today, this might be the wettest one in history.
Yeah, it has been. And for next year, we got Keener Road issue too. So we'll start working on that as we go. That'll be it for now.
Okay, the zoning,
Zoning, okay, we had a list of 17 properties checked on this past Friday that currently do not receive a trash bill. 6 of those 17 will receive a bill this week. We found out they're not vacant. The first quarter 2019 trash bills were printed on 12/27. There was 1,306 bills and they were mailed on 12/29. Jerry Brown's term on the BZA expires today. He does not want to serve another 5-year term. There's 2 interested candidates, Mike Brown and Charles Freshour. Their letters are attached to my report. We had 3 BZA meetings in 2018. The first one was the Hayes-Harris lot split that Preston handled. Then we had 2 for the Flora lot split. There was a total of 14 permits issued that me or Preston issued in 2014. 4 accessory buildings, 1 carport, 2 deck or porch, 3 home additions, 1 new home, and 3 swimming pools. Zoning Commission, Linda Hall's term on the Zoning Commission Board expires on 12/31/18. She does want to serve another 5-year term. And just as a reminder, I'm attending the OTA conference in Columbus, January 30 through February 1, 2019. That's it.
the trash bills you spoke of, they had, them's the ones that had not received a bill for a while in the past, because they was vacant or claimed to be vacant or.
Right.
Yeah.
I went off of a 2017 list that I found, so, yeah.
Kate, I don't have a copy of your report.
I probably put it in your drawer on Friday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you don't.
It's a little bit harder. I did go with Kate to look at some of them. And, you know, they claim they're empty, but they've got wreaths and you can see a Christmas tree in the window and lights on the porch and like Christmas lights, so I don't think they're empty. That's how that was kind of determined on.
Yeah, some of them, that's how we
Yeah,
determined
It's
that.
like, wow, there's,
Someone that did.
yeah. And I know that there was a couple of them that had been empty in the past, but they've been well, one had been totally rehabbed and
I have a question. Is it mandatory that you have to have trash service?
yes, sir, in this township. And the reason that is, back in the 90s, I think it was House Bill 592, every jurisdiction had to have a trash plan. So, Perry Township chose to do township-wide trash service. So that covered their plan. Otherwise, we'd had I don't know, a landfill, place to go with the trash, or we had to have a trash plan, but that covered the trash plan. So ever since that, everybody's has, and I think at that time, they said there was 5 trash companies in the township, which that just brought it to 1, and every, is it 3 years, forget. Every so many years, we go out for bids on the trash to get the cost. So it is a mandatory thing because of that.
I think Superfund cleanup was the main part of that.
Well, that was another, right. And that was, if a landfill found something had somebody's name on it from this township and it became a Superfund cleanup, if we're involved with the trash companies and everybody, then we're in the group with everybody involved. But if we were individual, then we could pay, it could be millions or something to clean up a landfill site. And I think there was a individual from this township back prior to that there was something found in a I think like a closed landfill. But that somehow luckily got dropped from what I know. So it's necessary. And then see, we also have the recycling with that. That's the other part of it, the recycling, because I haven't seen the figures for a little bit, but we used to be, Perry Township was like I think a lot of times it used to be one of the highest recycle. I don't know if Kate's got anything with that lately or not. I don't think they put them out anymore.
I'll have to check with Rumpke.
They used to, like each township, how much was recycled or whatever. Perry Township used to be like one of the highest in the amount of recyclable. If not the top, they were right like next to the top. I think oftentimes. So that's all part of that waste situation. So, okay, police.
I don't have any statistics for the calls that came out throughout the year, just because I came in October. I do know that the police department has handled somewhere around the neighborhood of 350 calls. That's what we have with reports. That number could be a little bit higher due to the county taking over out here and patrolling out here for a while. Managed to get some of our equipment upgraded. We still have some that needs to be upgraded. But nothing really else that I have.
started going, you know, like there. Okay. Was there anything else? God. Is that it?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, yeah.
I'll second it.
Mears,
Yes.
Sim,
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Okay.
Reorganization meeting, Sim,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Hank and I am present. Request nominations for president for 2019.
I nominate Mr. Sims as president.
A second.
Mears,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Sim,
Abstain.
vice president.
I nominate Missy Graves.
I'll second.
Price,
Yes.
Sim,
Yes.
Mears.
Abstain.
Okay. Regular board of trustees meetings. Do we wanna stay with, let's see, second Tuesday, like we have been?
Yes.
At 6 PM, I guess, same as, is that good with everybody? Okay.
I make a motion, second Tuesday of every month at 6 PM.
I'll second that.
Mears.
Yes.
Sim,
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Okay. Approve the 2019 permanent appropriations.
I make a motion we accept.
I'll second.
Price,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Sim,
Yes. Okay, we need the 2019 representative for MVR PC and Technical Advisory. Huh?
I don't,
Oh, I thought you were doing.
no, I won't.
Oh. Oh, well. Was that, you were interested in that one, you had to, you mentioned the Miami guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I appoint Ron Price.
I second.
Sim,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Okay, and then the alternate representative for MVRPC Technical Advisory. Now, was that what you wanted to be the alternate?
No, I was gonna do the water.
Oh, okay. Okay, well,
What did you say, Missy? I didn't hear you.
she was in,
Interested in the West Regional Council of Government.
Okay.
Yeah.
I nominate Dale for this. alternate.
that's fine.
A second.
Or was, excuse me, man, was, that's one that Rhonda could be on.
No, I'll pass.
You don't, okay. I didn't know if you was interested in that or not. Okay.
Price,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Sim,
Abstain. Okay. The Western Regional Council Government Representative. I nominate or appoint Ms. Mears.
I second.
Sim,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Mears.
Abstain.
Okay, the alternate for the Western Regional Council of Governments representative. Care.
I appoint Dale. Sim.
I didn't hear what you said, Missy.
Oh, I appoint Dale as the alternate.
I second.
Mears,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Sim,
Abstain. Okay, approve the 2018 inventory that we submit to the Montgomery County Engineers Office the second Monday in January. Also move.
Second.
Sim,
Yes.
Mears,
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Okay, and then we approve the highway mileage system certificates, 18.27 miles.
So moved.
Second.
Price,
Yes.
Sim,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Okay, the OTARMA, the insurance will review in March for changes. So, that will mean, any police cars, if we're gonna get rid of them, we should work on doing that before March,
Okay.
because otherwise they get put on the insurance for the year.
Okay.
Are you gonna put those on that deal?
Mm-hmm.
Because Mike's got that truck.
And then there's that truck also that, yeah.
We'll have to get the other two expeditions over to Yikes and Stripes and have them take all the lettering and everything off. All the equipment, everything's already out of them, so we just need to get the lettering off of there and then we can put them up on gov deals.
we getting rid of 2 of them, or? Had you, did you have a
I'd really
thought?
like to get, I mean, I'd really like to get rid of all 3 of them.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Well, the reason I asked is I didn't know zoning used the one some, and I
Okay.
didn't know whether that made sense to keep the one, and I didn't know if there was ever any undercover stuff that you might not want a marked police car for also.
If we're gonna do that, I think just getting a regular, just a small sedan, would work. Trying to do undercover work in a big expedition isn't ideal. If zoning, needs to use it or whatnot, we can keep one around, for that.
We had kind of mentioned about that. I mean, I didn't know if, like I said, that's one of the things that maybe it might have been mentioned, I didn't know if you'd caught that or not, or.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fine, we can get the other 2 over and, take a look at, out of the 3, which one we wanna keep. And
Yeah.
we can put the other 2 on gov deals and, we could look at sometime at the end of the year, next year, getting rid of car D, which is the final expedition out there. We could look at replacing it as well.
Let's see, yeah. I forget what the other one was, car. Which other one is just everything out of the inside? Do you remember? Or, I don't know. Well, it don't matter, but.
They got B and C out there.
Is it B? Okay.
Those 2 vehicles already have the equipment taken out. It just needs the lettering off.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how much, it's probably not too much to get it off.
No.
I mean,
That's probably something that we could take up to the maintenance garage and pull in if the weather's bad and
it may be.
take some.
Well, I think actually they might have used like a heat thing.
Yeah.
Got it started, but I don't know how much would hard it might be, but it is a thought. If it wasn't hard to do, and you
Yeah.
might save some money, but.
I don't know what the cost of removing those are. I know if putting the 2 Explorers together was around $1,300 to have those done.
It's quite a bargain too. Just for all the equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe Missy would know. The CTC, do they still have a body
Yeah,
shop?
but they don't do that anymore.
Oh.
They got away from it. And it's one of those things where the kids are on a lab for like 2 hours. Yeah.
You got this problem.
Yeah.
Okay. We can take a razor blade and start killing the one edge,
Right.
killing edge up and see if it comes off relatively easy.
I think at least one time they might have did one in the past year that it wasn't too bad, I don't think, but of course the glue could have changed. So.
Use the Gorilla Glue and you'll never get it off.
Yeah. Okay. The fire inspection, January, that'd be the fire extinguishers, I guess.
Fire suppression.
Fire suppression system. I don't know, 2 weeks ago, maybe it was, they came out and did an inspection of the maintenance building, because I happened to be there when they.
Fire department.
Fire department. So I don't know if they were in here or not, but they just,
They were here.
okay, I thought they said they were, but, so they did a walkthrough with that, everything, they didn't have any complaints, they said it all looked good, so, okay, wonderful. Okay. The fire prevention officer. We have to have a fire prevention officer. And in the past, we have just made the fire chiefs. The fire prevention officer, and I was trying to remember. I guess they both did. I was thinking at
Yeah.
one point in time, they talked about just one or the other of them doing it, but
I think they said at that meeting both of them would do it.
that's fine.
Yeah.
So we need a motion to appoint them as our fire prevention officer.
That's it.
Excuse me, are we talking about the fire chief for New Lebanon and Brookville? Is that what-
That's what we just said, yes.
Okay.
Sim,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Okay,
Usually we're starting on
and then, as far as the uses of the building, the cattlemen would still like to use it the second Monday of each month at 8 PM. They have no meeting in March, and then in July, they have no meeting. I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second.
Sim,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
And then the Horsemen would like to use it and meet the third Wednesday at 7 PM.
Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday, I'm sorry. During the months January, February, and March. And I'll make a motion that we approve that.
Second.
Second.
Sim,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Okay. Then the road and cemetery for the upcoming,
Far as cemetery, we'll review prices with the surrounding cemeteries, see where we stand. Right now, we're all the same. Haven't heard anybody want to go up yet, but I'll talk to them about that. For the pricing. But this time will stay the same.
I was, just something you made comment before, and I don't know if you've got it separated or not. How many traditional burials, do you know how many there is of them? Well, you said 26, but then do you know how many cremation
We had,
burials we have?
I believe, 20 regular and 6 cremations.
I just was curious.
Yeah. They're starting kind of phase in, but the four for next year are cremations. But they're, like I said, they want to wait till either the stones are put up or the names are put on the stones, or the dates, so forth, before they do the intern. But it's been a rise, I mean, it's
Yeah.
going that way a little bit.
Just wondered if it's,
Like I said, on the roadside, we got Heater, or Keena Road for issue 2 this year. Sheep Road is in the application phase of it now. We'll know probably July whether we got that or not for next year.
well, as far as, like you say, the salt usage for,
Yeah. I think we've unused.
I mean, it's hard to know, we could have started and have all kind of snow.
Right, but at this point, we use about 40 ton of salt mix. So, that's that ice storm we had and that little skip of snow we had, but other than that, that's all we've had. And that was for the, as of the winter bait, or the fall of 18.
Are you planning to do any more, have it done or whatever, the seal? Like on Amo?
Chitin,
Or,
well,
not chip and seal, but the crack seal or whatever?
yes, next phase will be Crawford to Sulphur Springs. Crack seal. The chip seal, we probably won't do nothing this year. We can't do a chip seal project with issue 2 projects same year. Just gets too
Right.
expensive.
Yeah, I didn't know. Well, you said about the issue 2 project. That one's already approved.
Keener Road
Keener
is,
Road.
yes.
So, what do you call it, yeah, how soon in the spring will you start trying to do the in-kind?
Well, we'll probably start doing some work here as
Just
soon as it's
whenever.
fit, yeah. Trees removed or trimmed back where we need to get off that right away. And then we got that 36 by 58 squash tube to replace down there, so that's work down there we'll do in spring, summer. Then fall, they'll probably be in to do the work.
Is there anything gonna be done there at the end of that where it's steep? Does that get cut or? anything?
You're talking about the air hill and
Yeah,
Keenan?
that area, no?
No,
I was thinking maybe they would.
no,
Didn't know.
no.
In the issue 2, I wasn't sure if that was included or not.
That stays the same.
There, I didn't know.
It's a bad intersection, it is.
How about the radius is nothing?
Yeah, well,
Little-
they'll improve, radiuses will
Because they're
improve.
tight, I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be, right now, it's probably right at 15.5-foot road, it'll be 18.5 when we're done.
So is everybody up through there, you gotta put a letter out and contact them? I mean,
Letter
sooner
or I will do it
Stop.
physically and stop them, which I've already started at and told them.
I haven't just thought about it exactly, but the trees, how many of, is there quite a lot?
There's,
Couple
there's some
places?
ash trees, especially towards the north end to be taken out. So,
I was thinking down there part way that there was a bunch too.
there, it's more the north end than it is the middle part, middle of
Anybody
the
had any
snake back.
problem about that so far that?
So far.
Good. I know our other tree issue that we kinda had here, that individual passed, I think.
Yes.
So, we might not have to get Tim out there with his shotgun to stand over somebody when they need trimmed or whatever. That was about, which I don't know, since he's passed, now will, I was worried about that, would Dayton Power and Light come back?
No,
They still won't?
no,
Nice.
unless it sells.
Yeah, I didn't know whether they just wouldn't come back to that location, period, or.
He won't come back. It's a red flag.
Yeah, okay.
That was the guy that threatened him with a shotgun.
Which them trees are gonna fall someday.
He will,
I
but
mean, they're in time here, they're gonna.
DPNL told them it's up to them to deal with them trees, the property owner.
But if they fall on the road, it'll be.
Well,
up to us to
yeah.
Get them out of the way. Yeah, that's how that's gonna work, you know. I mean, them trees are,
What happens if it falls on a car? Whose responsibility
It
is it?
is.
probably, they're liable, probably.
Okay.
I don't know.
So I thought DPNL had all the rights to trees that were in their lines.
The problem with this situation was DPNL was out there to do the work and they got threatened. They got shot at.
But can't the police intervene at that time?
DPNL come back and red flagged that property, says we will not be back to do any work. And I don't blame them. I mean,
Yeah, who wants to get shot at cutting a tree? I mean,
They was out to trim the tree lines or at the poles and they got shot at.
I was wondering about trees hanging over roads. Can't anything, like, we live on Crawford and there's a wooded area between Amity and Providence. And there were huge, like, branches this big around falling over the road during that ice storm. I mean,
That you'd have to take up with county.
oh, really?
Yes, that's county
I
maintained
drive
road.
out through that woods all the time and I'm thinking, man, it could kill somebody.
They trimmed some of the stuff, but then they only go up so high, and yeah, if they're leaning way up there, they don't get them, I mean. And then it depends where if the tree's out close, but if the base is back off the right of way, they're not gonna.
If the tree is off the right of way, we cannot touch them.
Well,
But I understand what you're saying up above.
It is.
yeah,
But-
because they hang over the road and meet on both,
Yeah.
from both
Miami-
sides.
If I remember right, Miami Township just passed an ordinance that is gonna be up to the property owner to maintain your trees.
That's what I was just gonna ask. So if something like that would happen and hit somebody driving under, it would be the property owner that would be liable.
Good possibility.
Wow.
I mean, you'd have to ask your insurance company, but Miami Township just passed that. I mean, if the tree falls on the road, the township, if I heard right, will come out and push it off the road. But it would be up to the property owner to take care of it.
Mhm.
I believe they just passed that.
Well, there was another one on Crawford that wasn't very far off the edge. I would have thought almost might have been in the right of way, but I guess it wasn't, and they wouldn't do that one.
The county wouldn't do it?
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
It did get cut. I don't know how, well, the property owner, I don't know how it got accomplished.
Somebody cut that one up really fast. It must have been the owner came out and cut it up and got it off the road, but. yeah.
Because that particular one, there was some contacts back and forth about trying to get it cut.
Mm.
So, I don't know. It's,
But Crawford Road, you'd have to talk to county, that's county maintained.
Mhm.
How far is the right of way from the edge of the road into the ditch?
which road, they're all
Yeah.
different.
Really?
Usually on some of the roads, it's 30 feet, and that's from the center, and that's 30 feet right away, the total. So you take 15 feet from the center road back and out. It might be 40 feet.
Some are
You take
60.
20 from the center road back. But yes, some are 60, but
And some-
Which is that? Why is it different?
don't know.
Nobody knows when it was ever even established that I could ever find out. But you might be, this mile might be 45, the next one might be 60. And then it might, it's all over the place, and it's like, who created these? I don't know. I think this Johnsville, Brookville's 60, part of it, I think. I don't know if all of it is, but it's, I don't know.
Yeah, if it's 30-foot right of way, you just measure 15 foot from the center of the road back, and there's your right of way.
Because me and Mike one day went and looked at some on Sheep Road and another road I know, and there was some like, well, they were, if you measured it, it was like right in the middle of the tree, which we talked to a couple of people about you cutting them, and then I know one of them there that there was a couple that they cut them, so it's like,
Right.
yay. But they were gonna fall too, because they were dead.
But as far as, trees, you need to talk to your insurance company if you're liable or not.
Yeah. it's- Okay. Anything else under the zone?
Did you say zoning?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I attached the current fee schedule for permits and, where it says videotape copy, that's the DVD, that is currently 49 cents, subject to change based on the price of the DVDs when we need to order them. And, currently the variance fee is $475. I don't know if the trustees want to increase any of these fees. the Brookville Star has increased their legal fee notices. Also, I suggest adding a permit fee for the solar panels once the zoning commission board decides if the zoning what the zoning text regulations are. And my suggestion.
Okay, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't-
No,
go ahead.
if we do get a regulation for zoning solar panels, I suggest the fee be $20.
Is that per panel?
I don't know.
Well, the reason I asked that, and things are going in,
Yeah.
big areas of them. I know of one place that's got about 60 acres of them. And I know of another place in Preble County, they were looking at 300 acres of them. There's one between here and Columbus, around Plain City area, they're looking at 2,000 acres. Now, I think probably our zoning probably needs to address that.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's something new. And if you get coming in a whole couple farms,
I just went with $20
Right.
because there's dish antennas over
Well,
24 inches for $20.
I know.
So but I didn't think about per panel. But
I don't know, I mean, I'm just thinking if they are to look at putting in big areas of them, then, I don't know, we probably need
there's
to
a
have
house
some-
on Wolf Creek right now that wants to put 19 of them in.
See there, yeah, I mean, that's,
Sounds like you need to do a little research, see what everybody else is doing.
I don't know, maybe we need to do it whether they're doing it or not.
Right.
I mean, do we want something, my thought, I asked the question at this meeting I was at, that it came up about that, and nobody had an answer, is how's it maintained around them panels? Because they lease them for 30 to 40 years, these farms. And it's like big money. It's like,
Zoning should be involved in that themselves. I mean, that's, I don't know if I want 3,000 acres of solar panel beside my property.
well, I know. But it's a public utility, and I'm not too sure you can zone it either. That's the other thing. Public utilities become questionable. Yeah, you can probably put a permit fee on them, but I don't know that you can say, oh, we can't have them. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not an attorney, I don't know, but I'm just saying,
Yeah, you can't restrict it.
not public utilities, I mean, it's, and now you can put a
You put a fee on it.
fee on them. They have to, that's why I said per panel. I mean,
Well,
I don't know.
I'm scheduling a zoning commission meeting for the third Thursday in January, and that's one of the topics that I wanted to discuss with the zoning commission board, so I'll have to do some research.
I mean, they're leasing this stuff for like $20,000 an acre. So it's big money that they're, but the question is, the honeysuckle's so bad, so after a couple of years, if you put all these solar panels, is the honeysuckle gonna come up in between them everywhere and just be rampant, and it's just a grown-up mess after a number of years? I don't know. He was asked, can it be pastured between them, and they said no. So I don't know, somehow it would have to be maintained or kept down.
Sounds like a workshop. Like
Well, I
something
think
to
it's,
go
I
over.
think it's something that we really need to, and another thing that's coming fast is the wind,
Who knows?
Wind
Windmills.
turbine?
big ones. And I mean, and I think we've got a little something about that, but see, there again, I don't know that we can zone them out.
Who's down there? Green.
Yeah, Greenville, and we don't have any whirlpool facilities, but anywhere there's a whirlpool facility, they're
They'll put them
building.
in.
Finley.
Oh, yeah.
They had a huge fight up around the Urbana area about windmills. And I happened to be working in that area at that time. And there were good proponents of both sides of that, for pro and con.
I know.
So that's something that we have to research also.
Yeah.
And it may come down to where it's voted on by the residents, whether or not we want this, or
Right. I
That's
don't,
how it panned out up there.
I have a question for Ms. Christian on the panels, on the solar panels. Are we talking about freestanding solar panels, or are we talking about roof-mounted solar panels?
The one on Wolf Creek wants to put them on the ground, but
Okay.
I've seen both, so that's part of the research I
So
need to
the
do.
fee, I mean, I guess it's debatable about how the fee is applied, but
Right.
it would apply to roof and freestanding solar panels, is that correct?
Right,
Okay.
yeah. So it's up to the trustees if you want to increase any of the fees. We did lose money on the Flora lot split because we had to have 2 meetings. So we had to have 2 legal notices, and between the first and second meeting, Brookville Star increased their prices for the notices. Plus we had to pay the BZA members.
What is the fee for that?
Do what?
What is the fee for that, you know?
For the,
To put it in the Brookville Star?
for the ad. in
For the
for the
story.
ad, I don't know, Rhonda, do you know, remember what you paid?
About $225.
The first time or the increase?
First time was $175, second time was $220.
So it went up $50.
And the zoning,
The fee for the BZA, or to have the hearings, $475.
$475.
And then each member gets $20 when they come to a meeting, plus, you know, I have to mail out letters again and all that. So,
There should never have been 2 meetings on that anyway.
right,
That should have been approved on the first round.
right. The reason it wasn't approved in the first round is because there was only 3 BZA members here and they didn't think they had a quorum to approve it. Plus, they still had some questions about the
Width of the
application.
driveway was
Yeah.
was the issue.
Right. So since, that ended up being 2 meetings and should have only taken 1 meeting, my plan is to coordinate better with the BZA members to clear up any questions prior to scheduling a meeting, which, that was my first BZA meeting, my first 2 BZA meetings, so I learned a lot, so I'm.
so on that fee, I don't know, should we raise it some to cover the Brookville Star? I mean, we have to advertise it. And
I think so.
if you advertise it just once, it's 200 and, yeah, plus, got another, that's just not leaving. Then you got your registered letters that have to go out.
Mhm. And your BCA member fee, or meeting fee.
Right. Do you have a thought on how much we should raise that?
I don't know how much we lost on the Flora case, but I would say if we, at least $25, make it $500 for the meeting. That's my suggestion. Because hopefully, if we have any, I know we'll have one coming up this year, but hopefully, they'll only take 1 meeting. And also, if there is an additional meeting, it's a $50 charge, which we didn't charge the Floras for that because of.
Oh, we have that?
Yeah, we do have an additional fee for the same case, it's $50, but we didn't charge the Floras that.
Maybe we need to raise that fee too, another $50 or something if there's a second.
Yeah.
Well, the reason part of that could have been, it wasn't in the case of floors, but some people have not had their the information together, and that's in the past, I mean,
Right.
that makes them get their information together maybe.
So I attached the current fee schedule, I guess if the trustees wanna review it and maybe at the January meeting decide if they wanna make any adjustments to the fee schedule.
You think on that one, 475, 500?
That's what I suggest.
Okay. And Mike, you're gonna check on the graves, right?
Yeah.
In case,
Foundation, or cemetery prices
Right.
total from top to bottom.
maybe that's something we can do with it.
I think we ought to table the zoning thing until we have a little bit of
Yeah.
chance to go over.
Okay, and then the BZA meetings will be the first Thursday of the month as needed at 7 PM. That's what they currently are. That's what I'd like to keep them at for 2019. And the zoning commission meetings are the third Thursday of each month as needed at 7 PM. Which, again, that's currently what they are. I've not had a zoning commission meeting since I've been here, but I do plan to schedule one for January 19th so that we can discuss solar panels and wind turbines now and questions, get some clarifications on the zoning textbook.
What date did you say, I'm sorry?
January 17th. I think I said the 19th, but it's the 17th. Third Thursday in January at 7 PM.
I'm
And,
just looking at this schedule. Thinking about the different things. You got on here videotape copy 5.
yeah, that's, I don't know what that is. It should be currently 49 cents.
That's what I thought that wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's actually a DVD, it's not a videotape.
Well, right. Okay, I was thinking about them, their cell towers, see, we got a fee for them.
Mhm.
We can't say no, but we put a fee on them,
Mhm.
which. The other one I was wondering about, it is the ag easement inspection, 1 to 5 year. What happens after that?
I don't know. I haven't run across that yet.
I don't know.
Excuse me.
We got one, but it's been more than 5 years. I mean, we do, and I don't know. So I didn't know, but
Maybe,
there's nothing, I don't know how you'd ever charge, or who you'd charge. I mean, the state's,
would there be a file somewhere on one of them maybe or something that I could look at? I don't know. I don't.
there might be some, ask Soil and Water how they do them.
Okay.
Because they do some of them, they've got some, but they, I don't know, but I don't know how you can change it, that, but I just, was- I knew that was on there, but I really didn't realize the 1 to 5 year thing was on there, and I'm like, I don't know how that works, actually, thinking about it. It's the only one we got's Majestic, right? We inspect.
What is it?
Majestic. Majestic Nursery or whatever.
Okay.
You did the inspection.
The pansing?
Yeah, pansy,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't charge her anything.
Well, I know, and I mean,
Oh.
unless we're supposed to build a state. But I don't think they're gonna pay. We could just say, well, if they're not gonna pay, we're not gonna do it. I don't know what they do. I mean,
I know the, on the Pansing farm soil and water, if they did the inspection, they would get $100, but if we did it, we didn't get any money, so I thought, why not have soil and water do it? I
Who
called
did they
them.
get the $100 from? The state?
The state I read it somewhere through the agriculture department. So I called Soil and Water and said, since you guys would get $100 for doing this, do you wanna do it? And they said, yeah, they'll do it. And then they called me back
They
a
don't
couple
hold
weeks
these?
later and said, we'll do it, but we'll charge you $200. And I said, forget it, I'll do it myself.
Well, they don't hold the easement on that.
So I went and did it. And I don't know.
I don't know, maybe that's interesting,
So then, just a reminder, the office hours are changing starting January 7th, which is Monday. The hours are gonna be Monday through Wednesday, 1 to 5, and Thursday and Friday, 9 to 1. Still 20 hours a week, but some nighttime, later hours in the evening for residents that can't get here by 4. And early morning hours, because I've had people waiting here when I get here at noon. They didn't realize we didn't open till noon. That's all I have.
Okay. Police?
Jump over to the Easter egg hunt. I saw that sitting there at the bottom. If I can get details for the dates for that, I can go ahead and start publishing it on our new Perry Township Police webpage. And speaking of the webpage, we're gonna start posting our events and stuff on there way out in advance, so that way members of the community and everybody else can stay up to date and at different things. So I saw that and it was just a reminder to myself.
Tim, what's the URL for your website?
It's Perry, TWP, police.org.
Thank you.
That website's already up and active, so you'll see pictures of the new cruisers on there. It's got our mission statement. So we're still building with it and everything, so just give us a little bit of time and be patient with us, but it'll be fun to watch this thing grow, and I'm pretty excited about it, so.
That's just for police, that's not for regular township business?
Correct, just police department. You'll be able to report a crime. If you got a crime tip or something, you can submit that anonymously on there. If somebody is interested in being a police officer here, they can submit a interest card. Those emails come directly to me and another officer that we'll be monitoring, all throughout the year and everything, so. Like I said, we'll put the events up there. I know the Easter egg hunt is a big event out here, so we'll get that put on there. And even through the website, we can create a donation box where if people want to make their donations, they could do it online right there. So we're working through the kinks with that. But I think it'll be pretty useful. And like I said, I think it'll just be fun to watch this thing grow. So just be patient with me as we as we get it up and going. For 2019, I sat down with Rhonda and things and went over the police budget and everything. I'm looking at 2 to 3 full-time guys, that's including myself, and then increasing our part-time officers. So we have the 24-hour coverage that the township needs. That probably start at effect, what we say, around like April. And that gives me time to do backgrounds on people, to get people interviewed and everything else. So that's pretty exciting. I'm glad that I'm able to get people on the road and full-time and give the community the 24-hour protection that we need. That'd be a big change coming up for 2019. I think it's gonna be awesome.
You've gotten several people hired,
Yeah.
so.
We hired Justin Derringer from Jackson Township. Some of my officers are holding peer interviews this month. I think we got 4 more that they're gonna be interviewing. And those officers will go through the background check as well. And they've already taken their test and passed it, so that's why they're onto the peer interviews. So we got at least 4 more that we're looking at. And
So they're not hired, they're in the queue, waiting for all the process to be finished.
correct.
Well, you had another one besides Derringer, didn't you? I thought you had another name, no?
Oh, David Brun, he was an officer here before. Brought him back. He's the one who's building the website and gonna be running it and our Facebook page and everything, so. He's very savvy when it comes to the internet and doing different things, so.
I have a question. Is he our stand-in chief, so we are gonna get a new chief, or, I mean, how's that?
He's our interim chief,
Right.
and at the current time, we're bringing in,
Taking out.
taking applications, there we go.
Today's the last day.
Today's the last day, so if you wanna apply, you better get into
Has
that.
anybody applied yet?
There's a couple, I think.
What postings did you do besides Brookville Star?
It was put in the Brookville Star, and I contacted the Ohio Chief of Police Association.
When was that done?
That was like the week I put it in the Brookville Star. I called up there twice, and then I sent her an email and have yet to hear from her.
So now, the only postings we've ever had is in the Brookville Star.
I
You
could
think
not
that's
put-
adequate?
I couldn't put it, I was waiting for her to contact me back. I couldn't submit
The
anything
question is,
without
do you
her.
think that's inadequate?
Yes.
We're only gonna go out to the Brookville area for a police chief. And we only had it open for 31 days. Is that correct?
I don't know when I put it in, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
I would disagree with that. I think that ought to be, we ought to go out farther than the Brookville area.
I tried. I mean, I
Well,
can't.
what would be your suggestion, Brad?
Well, there's several different postings you can do that goes out statewide.
Well, what are those?
Well, I gave those to Ron. Ron, did you have that information?
I forwarded it to the trustees.
You were forwarded that information.
Right. You don't recall what it was,
No, I don't recall, Ralph. You should have that in your email.
I think it was out prior to Chief, to Littleton here.
That's what I was gonna say, because we've gotten phone calls from,
There's been
people
calls came in from
outside
the
the
prior.
area
I've
interested.
actually had phone calls.
It wasn't in the Brookville Star until the 16th of December. That was the first posting in the Brookville Star. It was the 16th of December, and it was posted last week. So that's the second one, and there's a time limit stating today is the last day to apply. My question is, Chief Littleton was hired in October, but it was 61 days until you made a posting
That's
for
correct.
permanent chief.
That's correct. We didn't,
I understand.
we
it's
were
correct.
trying to
Can
get
you
everything
give us
put
a
together.
reason? Can you give us a reason
Yeah.
that it took that long
Yeah.
to make a permanent?
and we've been through this before.
You
You asked the same question at our meeting. You did.
Oh, I did?
Yes, you did. And we said, we were putting things together, Chief Littleton was helping, and Chief Littleton was in an accident. You don't recall that? And that's why we didn't get everything put together and get it advertised sooner. We went through all that at our regular meeting.
But then you put a time limit of 2 weeks or less than 2
Yeah.
weeks from the posting.
Yeah. How long does it take? If you're
I don't know, it
I
took
don't
6
either.
months before.
I,
It
No,
took 6 months
no.
before. Yes, it did.
Well, we weren't doing it then. No.
Well, the sheriff
The
was
sheriff's
doing it.
department was doing it. Well, talk to them why it took that long, not us.
why do you, well, I don't understand why today's the last day. I mean, why wouldn't you not
Because
stop
we want to
it?
get one hired.
But you.
You have out of Brookville?
Huh?
Just
You're
out of
gonna get one hired
Brookville?
Out of Brookville?
But the sheriff's office is aware of it. There's,
I don't understand why you wouldn't wait at least until you have a couple applicants before you close it.
we do have a couple
Have you
applicants.
interviewed anybody?
No. Some of them, I can tell you one of them, absolutely, he's ineligible.
There's more to this process than just interview.
Well, then-
We look at backgrounds on
Good,
these.
then open it up for
And
more
what
than
we've
30
had
days, or
is-
actually it's about 15 days.
Well, what we've had is we've had applicants that would not be satisfactory for this position. So when that happens, we negate that person.
Sure.
And that has been the application process so far. Mr. Freshour, I know that you would like to have things done immediately, and so would we. But sometimes, you know, it's those, the millstones grind very fine, but they grind very slowly. Sometimes it takes a little more time than what we would like.
I think you just said exactly the opposite of what Mr.
I didn't say
Freshour
that at
wants.
all.
He doesn't want it done immediately. He wants you to slow down
Well,
and
you
give
said
it more
6 months was too
time.
long before.
And
That's why you just
Why
got
is
to
6
explain.
months too long? I asked why it took 6 months.
We don't know. That was-
Because getting applicants is why.
It's
We
your
haven't-
police department, how can you not know? How can you not know this?
I don't know, why haven't we had 100 of them come in now? I don't know.
You're not
Because-
giving it any time, Dale.
You haven't had 100 because you've only put it.
Well,
in the
okay, we
Brookfield
gave it
Star.
6 months that time and we didn't get them in.
We're talking about 2 weeks from the time.
Okay, this
you
time,
put in
yes,
one
this time,
ad.
yes, but the last time, it went like you said, 6
Then
months.
We're
still-
talking about this time.
We
We're
still
not
have
talking about the
applicants
last
from
time.
previously. We still have.
We don't care about it. I want to know why the ad it was only put in the Brookfield Star for 2 weeks, basically for 2 weeks until it was cut off.
We wouldn't have to put it in at all. We wouldn't have to.
Except that all,
The
We
last
wouldn't
time
have
the
to.
sheriffs
But-
were involved.
aren't you
That was
supposed to
a
be
broad-
interested in what your residents want
That was a
also?
broad search for.
Isn't that
a
your
new
job?
chief.
I mean, you were hired by the residents. So it seems to me that that would be
Okay, you're one resident,
of
I've heard others.
utmost importance to you to do what your residents ask.
And I've heard what some other residents have asked also, and it's not the same as what you asked.
Well,
So you gotta weigh it all out.
what you've done with the 2-week notice on the Brookfield Star tells me that you've already hired Littleton.
Yeah.
That you're not
That's what it
interested.
sounds.
So what, you got a friend you want hired in Smith? Is that it?
Absolutely
Why are you
not.
putting-
Chief Littleton, when he came in here, said he was interested in the spot.
And so that's why you're
And
not interested
no,
in looking at
no.
anyone else.
Now, I did try to, you know, I'm not just gonna say that, I did try to contact this lady, so I can't do anything if she won't call me back.
There's
Have you
about,
tried just once to contact her?
No, I contacted her twice and then I emailed
you
her.
can put it out on Indeed, you can put it out on Monster, you can put it out on all the
Right,
job search
but each one of
engines.
those costs money too.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not.
Okay,
Indeed is free.
okay,
That's national, that goes probably international.
okay.
So my comment is you guys have not done your due diligence to try to find a new police.
Well, the last time, you know, we could get a bunch of them in, and if they're out of the area or whatever, how do we know what they are? We ran into
Because
that
you
last
do.
go round.
Because you reviewed
And,
their
and
response.
we ran into a problem, and we don't know, you know, like I said, even the sheriff's department helped us, and we still ran into a problem.
Littleton is out of town. Littleton wasn't local.
But he's been here before, so we have some background knowledge of him, you know, where some of them, we're not gonna have that at all. I mean,
Well, what about
What would be
Rochester?
what would be the harm in extending the posting?
I have no problem, extend it till January 31st.
I don't care.
I'll get in touch with every one of those and put them in.
I just don't wanna get in the situation that we had when the sheriff's department was here, and we got a ringer run in on us, and I believe that.
Well, did you guys control
And-
that?
Pardon me?
Did you control that?
No, I wasn't in this seat.
Well, you
No.
can control it now. Is that correct?
The
yeah,
light bearer
and we
was-
think we're moving in the right way, but we got a couple residents here saying, oh, no, we're really doing it wrong.
Yeah,
So I guess it's hard to know.
I'm
There was a
telling
whole,
you.
there was a whole room full of residents that
Mhm.
said you were doing it wrong the last couple of months, if I remember correctly.
We have an
Doing
interim
what
chief.
wrong?
We have an interim
What we're
chief.
talking about right now, Dale, are you listening?
I'm listening, are you?
Yes,
I
I
don't
am.
think you are.
I don't think you are,
I-
because the residents keep saying the same thing
A
over and over.
couple, a couple come.
Over and over.
Now, we've had others that state the other thing. Okay, 25 come. But we've had others out here, there's a whole lot, there's 6,000 people. I've had a lot of other people express otherwise.
Why aren't they here?
I don't know, because they don't like the argument, for one thing. That's one
Well,
thing.
we don't like the argument either, but we.
But you sure
we
come
witness
and
it, we
present it.
witness it every month.
We would like to see you.
And most of those arguments are coming from
Yeah.
you.
Me,
No, you're
yes,
not.
I know,
Let me tell you something.
I'm,
That is not fair.
I ask
Well, I'm
questions,
gonna tell
I'm an
you,
arguer.
when I told the folks, all these good folks in here, that I would be honest, open, and I would document everything that I did, and I have done that
You
thus
have.
far.
You
And I'm
have.
gonna tell you, Mr. Freshour, you lost credibility with me when you sat in this meeting last month, or the meeting last month, and told a barefaced lie.
What was that,
It was
please?
about-
You've told
you
Sarah.
You said that
State.
you were unaware of an ongoing investigation into the voting of the last election. Then you turned right around and said, well, I did talk to the sheriff.
So you
You
did
talked
know.
to him more than once.
I
You were interviewed-
absolutely did not.
Well,
That
then you
is-
lied again.
That, all right, you.
It's on tape.
If you've got
It's
anything
on
to
tape.
say about me, just put it on, in paperwork, prove it.
It's on the
Yeah,
tape.
It's on
It's on the
CD.
tape that you said that.
What?
It's on the tape that you said that.
I, fine. But if I somehow lied, then prove it.
You did.
We did.
You did on
We
another
did.
tape. You said I sold part of my
He's
farm.
not the elected
And I
official
didn't.
here.
That's wrong.
That's right, but we have
It just-
a protocol here.
It's
You
right.
guys have put
Go
us in a
ahead
position
and
of
extend
fiduciaries for you, and we want to fulfill that as best we can.
And extend-
And we cannot,
No. I
we
don't.
cannot,
I
if we
ran
get
down the
falsely accused of this and that and the other, and we get that a lot.
Okay, well, let's get back to the Littleton, the
Right.
police chief issue. You think 2 weeks in the Brookville Star is adequate to try to find a police chief? You're saying that, Dale?
Yep, I am. After I've seen his performance, I have. Yep, I am.
Without-
Or I'd be good with hiring that man right now.
Well,
Right
you've
this
already
minute.
hired him.
No, well, as in,
With the way
I'd be,
your actions, the way
I'd be,
your actions are, you've already hired him.
no, no.
Sure you have.
No, we haven't. We put it out to see what
I said,
applicants we get in.
what's the difference? He's already interim chief.
He is.
Just extend.
And he's done a superb job. And I'm like, okay, so I've seen what kind of performance he's got. I could bring in Joe, anybody from out here that could be claimed to be the best guy in the world. I don't know what his performance is. He could get here and be the worst guy in the
So your
world.
mind is closed, that's the point.
No, it's not closed.
You
It's
have a
open.
closed
Or what-
mind, you're
no.
not willing to extend this, you're not willing to interview other people.
Can I ask, do you guys have an issue with
Yeah, I do.
Chief
Really?
Littleton?
Running through a intersection in Dayton without your siren on, that's an issue.
You've never made an error in your life, huh?
Well, that could have been a deadly
Okay.
error.
Well, coulda.
And
We've
he's
all
supposed-
probably done that, made errors in
He's
our life
supposed
that
to
could
be
have been
the
deadly.
police chief. He's supposed to be the leader.
Sure, but he's not perfect. He's human like everybody. Come on. Brad, what in
Lights
the world?
and siren was on.
Right, that's been proven.
Then why were
already.
you cited?
Why was I cited? I don't know. Go ask the State Highway Patrol.
No, you
Because-
know, come on,
because-
if you're
Do you want an
police
honest
chief-
answer? I ain't gonna sit here and BS you, okay? Listen. I had the lieutenant of the State Highway Patrol tell me I wasn't getting a citation. There was a sergeant at the State Highway Patrol over here in Inglewood that said he's getting one. The trooper that came into my house and gave me the citation was unclear that I was even getting one until he was told by the sergeant. So no, I honestly don't know why I was cited.
And I don't know if that sergeant was there that night because I was.
How fast
I was
were you
at the
going when
scene.
you went through the intersection? How fast were you?
That's still under investigation.
You know how fast.
You don't know how fast you were going?
I was knocked out.
Well, I mean, you weren't knocked out when you were driving through the intersection.
You know, there's things about that accident I still don't recall. I still get information from dispatch because I put in a request to hear my radio traffic. Do you know after I was in that accident, it knocked me out? I came to and I rendered first aid to that driver. I got out of my car and shut down the intersection.
That's fine. I understand all that.
No, so why sit here and belittle that?
I'm not belittling that. I'm saying.
I was responding to a call to Trotwood to help out with a burglary in progress because they didn't have enough officers on that night. I sent my other officer, Nelson, from here, headed that direction. So I was coming back on Third Street because I just took a lady down to the hospital that wanted to run herself into a river.
Yeah.
We understand.
Okay.
We know all that.
So on my way back, they gave out a description that the vehicle fled and was headed into the city of Dayton off of Third Street.
Right where he was at.
Our only
Was an error.
concern is that you went through the intersection with your siren off, and we're going by a police report. We're
Where
not
are you
going-
getting that police report? I hear that all
Yeah,
the
that's,
time.
I know.
So,
Where's that at?
WHIO.
What, they pulled the data box off of the cruiser. The lights and sirens were on.
So then they know how to actually want to. probably.
Sure they
They do.
It
They pulled the
still
data
doesn't
box from
explain
it.
why you were cited.
Oh.
You get in an accident and aren't you cited?
Yeah,
If it's my
somebody,
fault.
somebody's gonna be cited.
Any emergency vehicle I've
No,
ever
not
seen
always.
slows down at an intersection to make sure the intersection.
How do you know he didn't? This was an accident. Does everybody understand what an accident is?
I understand, but this is a police.
You know, he didn't do this on purpose. You're putting blame on him. There's no blame here.
My biggest issue is we've had 2 weeks in the Brookville Star to look for a police chief, when we could have gone out the whole, you know, I'm suggesting you run it for another 31 days, another 30 days. How big a deal is that?
Well, we've had residents in here, we need a police chief. We need to get this thing.
Who are those residents?
I don't know, there's 25 of them here. I don't know all their names. We had them here. I don't know, maybe you know them. I don't know their names. But they all said, we need to get this department in order. So, okay, isn't that one of the big steps? Get a chief in here and get it in order? But no, we still got an interim, so we're just, yes, he's done an excellent job, but he's still, at that point, kind of patching things together. He can't make the decisions, so why don't we get a man in here, in place, to where we can get the decisions made the way they need to be, and let's go. We've got our levy now, let's take the money and utilize it and let's go. Let's get things in place and
Let's
go.
make sure we're getting the very best we can get. And
Well-
I'm suggesting to you right now,
30 days,
to
Dale,
open this up another 30 days,
in more areas.
to put it in Indeed.com, Monster.com, all this.
And how do we know whoever
Because
applies?
you'll be doing the same
Okay,
process you went
okay,
through with him.
we got one individual that's applied and the background on that, oh my gosh.
And that's more reason to
That's
put it
fine.
out. That's
Huh?
more reason to put
That's
it out
fine.
for
Well,
us.
there's two.
That's fine, it's
There's
more
two.
reason.
There's several,
It's
yes.
exactly more reason to open it up for another 30 days and to open it up bigger instead of Brookville. That's my whole point. By using it for 15 days.
So we can draw in some bad ones, maybe.
No,
Or
you-
some good
And that's your
What it does
responsibility
is-
to farm to.
I understand.
I get.
You know, if you're gonna go out and you're gonna buy a prize chicken, you look at a lot of prize chickens and pick the one you want. I understand what you're saying. I have no objection to running it in the Brookville Star or putting it on something that, I don't know what those sites are, but.
Well, if you read your email, you'll find it.
Well,
As
I
said,
understand that. You wouldn't believe the amount of emails that I get. This is not a gravy job, I'm gonna tell you right now. I do my
I'm
homework,
asking for a 30-day
Tim.
extension.
and
Is it posted on your
I
website?
have no problem with that, none
Is it on my
whatsoever.
website? No.
I
I'm
mean,
not the one who's,
Perry Township Police,
no.
wouldn't it be posted there?
It's not posted there because as a police chief, I don't have the authority to accept applications and interview for police
Right.
chiefs. So that's up to,
But what was running, what you guys ran in the Brookville Star, couldn't you ask, I'm gonna get this name wrong, Officer Brunn, to put it on the website?
if that's what the trustees
I
would.
I don't know that that would be appropriate, but what I think would be is if we could extend it 30 more days or whatever, and we could put it on these the free websites, I don't have a problem with any of that. You know, and it's no problem at all, and I agree with you, if it hasn't been long enough and you have some dissension about that episode, let's move it out there a
Thank
little
you,
bit.
Ron.
Let's allow it,
Thank you.
you know,
It's fine.
I have no
I'm
problem
going
with
to
that
make
at
a
all.
motion to that effect, then, please.
Okay, well, I will wait, see if there's any other discussion, then I will move for that.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't know. But then if we don't get any or whatever, then we're gonna say, oh, we need to move it out another
No.
30 or
No,
another 60.
this is
See,
the-
that's why, I
this
mean,
is-
I don't know.
This is the word with the hair on it, we're gonna do it for 30 days, and if we don't have an applicant that meets a better qualification than Mr. Littleton, then we're gonna work with what we have. Because I think, so far, and this has been my observation, and I've come in here at night and I've come in here a lot, and my observation has been this: we have already outclassed the last two police chiefs far and away than what we had. Through
I
recommendations.
mean, we haven't had
from
a
the-
police chief out on patrol in the middle of the night since I don't know when, and I've seen that numerous times.
Right.
This man's out on patrol. He's given our township patrol, whether he's got officers or not, he's getting it done.
Well,
Right.
this is my opinion. He doesn't need to be out on patrol like full-time, like a regular. Like, he
He's
needs
not.
to do his job and take care of his.
That's fine, but we do not want another
Do the
police
administrative
chief that
stuff.
never leaves the office. That was a problem. We need patrolling police chief. We need a police chief which he has been doing this.
And we
He's
re-
out in the public, introducing himself to people, getting to know the residents, wanting to be a part of this community. I appreciate that very
And,
much.
and that's what we, before Ron was on here, that's what we requested in the past. We wanted somebody that would get out and do some patrol. Yeah, we're not asking them to be a full-time patrol. We wanted
No,
the visibility.
He's got obligations
Yeah.
here in this building that he needs to take care of. We
Right,
understand that.
we understand that.
He's got personnel that he's gotta take care of. We
Absolutely.
understand that. But we also know this: when the police chief is out meeting the public, we have a better rapport with the whole community.
You know,
Not just through the trustees,
May-
but through the police
I agree with all
department.
there's
I
a lot of things the public doesn't know that went on here in the past. But you know, when he's out doing that, if we got an officer setting off somewhere sleeping in a car, he's gonna run across that. And in the past, that wasn't happening. And that was going on, I'll just have you to know.
I'll tell you
People
what.
might have said, oh yeah, there's officers in here. We had, what good were they doing when they're setting off somewhere sleeping? And they were caught by several people. But
Right.
see, the residents don't all know all that kind of stuff. There's a whole lot the residents don't
See,
know.
folks, there
If, you
is.
know, if the residents do know that kind of stuff, don't you think that helps them build a whole picture? Instead of just seeing a trustee that's sitting with these arms crossed with these, this, I'm not gonna do another 30 days.
I didn't say I'm not gonna
Yes,
do
you
no.
did, you said I'm ready
I
to
said-
marry him right now.
I am, but
Here's the way I feel about this. In 30 days, if we don't have someone that beats the qualifications that man has, he's got my 100% support.
And I will trust that.
And the thing is, I really, I had no idea what I was getting into when I got a trustee job. I had no idea. This is a lot of work, and I don't think the public knows that. And there have been huge changes in the last few months, huge changes, that if we threw them out there to the public, it wouldn't mean anything. But you stack them all up like they have been on us, and it's been a job. You know, and I said it in the last trustee meeting, it is not uncommon, and I've only been here 4 months, and it's not uncommon for me to put 30, 35 hours a week into this trustee job. I didn't know it was gonna be like that. But I'm hoping it smooths out a little bit, because we've got some transitions we're going through. You know, there are things here that have been done that need to be addressed. And I'm gonna deviate just a little from where we're at. You know, we had a grant. Somebody along the line said, I'm against grants. That's not true.
You said that. You said that in a meeting here.
I did not say I was against grants. I said
Where do you come up with this stuff?
against
Yes, you did.
misuse of grants. Now, let me tell you something.
I've never said that.
I've been in charge of this deal. I contacted Tawanda and Kramer. In the last grant that was put through for us, which I love that we're getting the money, the lady that occupied this seat had a building scheduled for tear down, demolition, written into that grant. We don't even own that building.
There was a whole bunch of stuff being
There was
done
a-
underhanded there.
I'll tell you
Yes,
what,
it was.
I have turned that
That's
whole
all
thing
in the
around.
past.
Yeah, but the public dwells on that, and they're still attacking us over that.
Here's
stuff.
the thing.
They don't trust us to think we're making the right
But
decision
Brad-
on advertising of a chief, see? You're right back to because of the past.
But Brad, you don't understand.
That's where it comes.
It's not in the past.
It's
It's
still,
getting fixed.
yes,
You
it's
see,
still,
that's what, everything here is, we're trying to fix what's wrong. We're not gonna tear this ramp out on the south side of the building. We're gonna have a new ramp over here. We're gonna use all that money that was adjudicated for us. We're gonna use that, but we're gonna use it not to tear down.
For the
building.
betterment of the community,
And
hopefully.
it's gonna be,
It's good.
and I'm working diligently with Kramer and Tawana down there in Dayton, and they're saying, you're making a lot of sense. Before, Kramer, what's her name, Mindy? Mindy over Kramer, she said, geez, you're making a lot of sense here. She said, we couldn't sort the other stuff out. And I'm not dissing anyone.
I'm
I'm
totally
just-
lost what we're talking about. I
Well-
have no idea what you're talking about.
What we said, the public keeps coming back to us over these past events, and they don't recognize us to what we're trying to do to fix stuff now.
We are
You know,
working hard
Just
to get some
be, just
stuff.
be.
Yeah,
More
he's
kids
trying the
out.
hardest to
Everyone.
communicate with us, but I'm trying to
Yes.
tell you, and I really appreciate that, Ron. I appreciate the communication. I think that's what's necessary.
Absolutely.
But I'm trying to tell you, I'm lost right now.
I know. You know why you're lost? Because it was never brought to your attention when it was going through in a messed up way.
You
And
weren't
I
here
think that's
6
what-
months
And
ago.
I think that's what you're trying to do right now, and I
Absolutely.
appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So
I
the
want-
grant was for a ramp, right?
It was for 2 ramps and tearing down a building that we
What
don't own.
building?
Up in Piermont.
A building, it's not even
A
ours.
bu-
A house.
The same
A house.
building that, I'm not gonna go into it. It was a mistake, okay? It was a mistake that was made. And
Why
it
would
was
our
written
grant money
like-
go for
It was
that?
ridden like a lame horse right up to the time that it fell in my lap.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went through this, you know, I about fainted, I couldn't believe it. And the first thing I did is I called Kramer, and I said, stop all your engineering on this. Got with Tawana and told her what was going on. And we've since sat down and gotten this thing straightened out to where the money that has been allocated to us through that government grant is gonna be put to use in a manner that we can be proud of. Things like, this building's old, and it needs tuck pointing on the bricks, okay? It needs mortar replacement on the brick. We're getting that done under this grant. You see, anything that we can use that's to the benefit of the community and it preserves this property, we can use that money for that. If it's something for a handicap, we can use that money for it. And we're gonna make sure that the money allocated to us is gonna go in a direction that's gonna be beneficial to all community members. And it's not gonna be some,
But that's where the
I
problem.
see that as you doing your job.
Well,
And
that's-
I appreciate that.
we do it a lot more than that. Believe me, we're hustling as best we can to do, when I said I'm a fiduciary for you, I mean that. I'm gonna absolutely put 100% of my effort, just like these guys do, into protecting your interest in this community. That's what we would
Well,
wanna do.
we had some of that stuff before and tried to explain it, but no, the public would attack us about it. We were wrong. Well, why? Why were we wrong about putting a ramp over here? No. See, that's where it went, and the public, we were tore up over it. And it still goes on. It wasn't that, look, I've got the best interest in this township. This township's been 99% of my income all my life. I've lived here, I've worked here, it's all. So don't I want the best for this township? You bet I do. Absolutely I do. 'Cause
It's not a big deal to extend another 30 days.
Absolutely
to find
not.
out the
It's
best
not
we
a
can get.
guess. I mean, I just, like I
It's not,
said,
that's not what he's saying, and it's,
I want things to move forward in the right way, and that's the only reason I guess, drag a little bit about extending it, because I just want to get things moving on. You know, you can sit there and you can, just like he mentioned before, you can look at that chicken forever. You know, hopefully, maybe we got a good individual here, but maybe he'll just say, I'm moving on. Well, you lose out on that good chicken, then you're lost again, you know? And I don't want that to happen. I'd rather see this man get put in place, because I've seen the good things he's done, and let's move forward with it. Let's let him build on it and move forward. But you can extend it, but
One of the things that I think is very important here, and anybody that's ever had a job anywhere, we don't want to keep anybody in limbo for a long time, because there's a lot of uncertainty there. Am I gonna have this job? Am I not gonna have this job? So
But
You know,
after all the rigmarole getting that levy passed, to me, we should do the very best we can do to find the very best. And I'm not saying Littleton isn't the very best.
And
But right
this
now,
is-
we don't know. Right.
I will back you 100% if we're sure, if we've done our due diligence and everybody's sure they have the right guy, I'll get behind you. I wanna be sure we've done it the right way.
I'll say this, I'll never be 100% sure. I don't care, we could bring in somebody with a reputation, I think I like this man a whole lot. I'm not 100% sure, how can you be? You can't be. You know, anybody that's been involved in hiring employees knows that. You can think you're getting the best thing in the world.
I have a request.
It's not always that way.
Until something changes, give him 100% support.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Got
absolutely.
You do that.
He's got it, he's got
And
it.
if you do that, we'll do what we can do. And if somebody grand and glorious comes up that's better than him, he'll probably have a chance at a part-time officer or a full-time officer. But if we find a better chief, we'll do that. If not, until then, he's got 100% of my support, and I hope he's got that of yours. I've seen this man do a lot for this community already. And this is in the midst of an accident and time off and all this stuff. You know, he's in the hospital making phone calls.
I'm still doing my job at the hospital.
Yeah, that's right.
And, you know, and I'll apologize to you, you know, I shouldn't have went off on you like that.
That's okay.
You know, I got a little defensive, you know, because everybody wants to talk about this accident. If you got questions about that, come talk to me. We'll sit here until we get it ironed out today. I got nowhere to be.
I
But-
think one of the main issues is the small percentage of people from this township come to these meetings. The people who do come to these meetings are seeing things happen that makes them not trust the trustees. Just for instance, when you elected him to take that seat, now, we had other people want to see that seat and be in that seat, you wouldn't even look at them. You
Where
put
were they at?
Ron right in there.
Where were they at 8 months ago?
The
Put
election?
Ron right in there without even looking at anybody
We
else's
looked at it, we
name.
looked at everybody's
And
application.
then you did the same thing with the chief. We had a chief, he got fired with
No,
some
no,
conflict.
no,
with
whoa,
chief,
whoa, whoa, he
or
resigned.
quit
No, don't say he got
He
fired.
quit.
Under duress.
Over some conflict with
Under
you.
duress, my
And
man.
now, you just bring this guy right in and shove him on us. I mean, that's hard to put the
You know, that
truth
kind of
in there.
negativity.
That's the kind of thing that hurts us, exactly.
Here's what you.
Yeah, what you're saying is the kind of thing that's a problem. It's a problem.
How's it a problem when we see this shove stuff down our
Well,
throat?
why
without
would you
even
say,
looking
why, now, wait a
at what's in
minute,
front of
I got a question. Why would you say that we just shoved him in there? He was the
did.
next vote getter.
Because
He
there was
could.
no meeting from October 9th till October 19th when you appointed him. In other words, there was
And we got-
there was no public meeting, there was no public discussion with the,
None.
with the officers
We got their
that had resigned,
applications.
that you had talked about. That's the thing. It has nothing to do with,
To trust
with,
that.
with.
We
with
got their
Tim or his
applications and looked at 'em.
qualifications.
So
It
what?
was your actions.
Yeah.
That was a
And how-
violation of sunshine laws.
No, it wasn't.
No.
No,
Yes,
it
it
was
was.
not a violation of sunshine laws. We checked with the prosecutors. It was not. It was not a
I
violation.
didn't know that I was gonna be appointed to this job until
No,
that day.
I'm talking about
She's talking about chief.
the chief.
Oh, that was not a sunshine law deal, because that decision wasn't made prior to that very night. was it?
Anyway, we can talk
Okay.
about employment. We don't have to
Okay.
have an open meeting to talk about
As long,
employment.
see,
Okay,
there
there
has to
was-
be
there
a
was no-
decision made, that
Okay, so there
violates
was no
sunshine.
prior discussion before that night.
No, not
From
that
what?
I know of.
Okay.
Only looking at applications. And,
Yeah,
yeah,
we looked at
there was
applications.
never a decision made until that evening,
We don't have, we had a executive session that evening.
right?
I went back there.
And we looked through applicants, and we did the whole deal, we went through and.
And like I
we looked at
said,
all that.
some of them, the
And we
eligibility
called him
was,
and asked him to come here because we were gonna put him as chief, interim chief. That's the way it worked. It was not a violation of any sunshine law. Let's be clear on this, and I brought this up. The
Okay, but that's
sunshine
not what
law-
it looked like
Well, yeah,
out
you
to the
know,
public. See, and until you just said that, I had no idea that that's what went down.
We went through this before, Bonnie. We went through
well,
all
maybe
this
it,
before.
maybe
No,
it
we did
wasn't
not.
clear, but
Yes,
now I
we
hope
did.
it
It's on
is.
tape. We
You know,
did go
the-
through it all before.
The thing
And
that we
see,
need here is communication, and we need clarity about what's going on behind the scenes. And as much of that as we can bring to you, that's what we're gonna try to do, but man, there's a load of stuff that, there are things we can't talk about. And
Oh, yeah.
that really burns me up, because I could say 3 paragraphs and clear up a whole bunch of stuff, but I can't do it, we're not allowed to do that. You know, we had a problem with the police chief. We know what the problem was, you guys don't know, it's unfortunate, it's very unfortunate. The prior police chief, we had problems with that. I wasn't a trustee then, but I know what was going on, because I came in and talked to him. And I didn't have to worry about trying to chase him down, he was always back there in the office, always. So, you know, we're doing the best we can do under the situation that we're in.
I think this township's a great place, and I don't know what's been so bad about it. You know, what's been so bad about it? I don't know how anybody can say anything that negative about this township. You know, I think everything's all been for the good. I mean, but we got a few people that want to talk like it's all negativity, and why? What's so bad?
It's not.
What's so bad?
Get back to the police chiefs.
Okay.
Are you guys willing to extend it for another?
Well,
Yes, it
that's
will
a
be
done
put in,
deal.
I will
Okay.
go home today or tomorrow and I will put it in and it will be until
I wanna
February
make a
8th.
motion to that
I will put it in until
effect.
February 8th, we'll get them, then we'll start in.
But if we,
I wanna
Put it
make a
in.
motion
I'll
to
do
that
that
effect,
today
that
or
we carry it
tomorrow.
out for another
And
30 days.
I'll rescind the places where you can put it in. I think all.
I already
places-
have it, I can take care of it, I'll do that, I got it, I'll put them in.
I mean,
Can we get a second on that?
And not just
Yes.
locally.
No, it'll be.
Excuse me?
and not just locally, he said.
No,
I don't know, where do they go?
I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it go to California?
I don't know where they go. I'll be sure.
Well, I mean, how wide do you want it? Do you want it to go to Europe? there's, you know, I
And
don't
Dale,
know.
that attitude right there.
Well, no, but
is-
think about it. How far, so how?
That's harmful.
No.
Outside
Ron,
of
would you
Brookville.
Now, wait a
agree with
minute.
that?
Okay, but how far is far
Because I
enough?
think
That's
you
my
do.
point. How far is
I
far
think
enough
you
or how
do.
far is not far
Farther
enough?
than Brookville.
I'll tell you what,
At least Montgomery
it occurred to
Ohio.
me the same thing, how far we go with this. But you know
Yeah, how
what?
far?
As long as we get it out to the public, I don't care if it goes 5 states away. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
But
There's
I
police
don't know where,
websites.
I don't know
There's
the
police
size, I don't know where, and I don't care. You know, I don't care how far it goes, as long as it gets out of this area. As long as it has, we give equal opportunity for other people. I don't care where it goes. If it does go to Europe.
By doing it for 2 weeks in the Brookville Star, it looks like you're trying to slam it through. That's
You know, I
Yeah.
had
Well,
no
see,
idea
and
that it was only gonna be
that's
that
another
long.
issue, because it looks like it, but no
See,
one made
yeah.
any phone calls, like you sent an email. I had already contacted them, and I had not got a response back from the lady.
Well-
So I did my job, I tried.
And maybe
to-
it got put on there.
Yeah, well,
I
no,
don't-
because
we don't know.
I didn't
I
send
don't
her the
Is
information.
there a motion on
so-
the table to extend it for 30 days?
Yes.
I have that motion,
Price,
yes.
Mears.
Yes,
Sim.
Yes. Did it get seconded?
no.
I don't think it got
I
seconded.
thought Price made the motion, I thought Sim, or Mears seconded.
I did too.
Oh, you didn't?
Do it again.
Motion on the floor.
Motion on the
There was
floor.
a motion.
Do I need to rescind that
No,
motion
no.
and make it again?
No, I don't know if you need to do that. We just gotta know that we're gonna extend it for
Till February 8th.
February 8th.
Well,
Oh,
tomorrow is the 2nd,
oh, okay.
so
Tomorrow is the
I thought it was
second.
30
Yeah, when
30
the
days.
31
Oh,
whatever
okay.
day, so.
Okay. Now we're into February. Okay. Let's make it March. April.
Quit it.
Missy, do you second that?
Yes, I second it.
Okay. Price,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Sim.
Yes.
Where this dialogue ends, I want to state that in a public forum, I've been accused of lying by Mr. Sim and
And you
Mr.
have.
Price.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Instead of
correct.
the innuendo, I would like it in writing as to what I lied about
I
What
sold
the
property.
subject was.
I sold property and I've
Well,
never sold
we're
property.
talking about-
That was one lie you told in the meeting. I sold property and I never sold.
What we're talking
Yes, you did.
about-
Did not.
Wait a minute.
It's,
Wait a minute.
Mr. Freshhour, it's on
You know,
the
if
TV.
you wanna keep bringing up these lies
I'm gonna
that I
bring-
supposedly
I'm gonna find somebody,
told.
we're gonna have a day
I've never
before.
been accused of lying in my life.
Well, you are.
Now, if you
Now,
want,
I am.
instead of the innuendo,
This isn't
instead of the
innuendo, this is a fact.
innuendo,
It's a fact.
and that's what it is, it's innuendo,
We will
unless you
get
get it
the
on paper and
CD.
prove it.
Now,
Now,
It is.
if I'm
It
a
is.
liar,
Buy the
if I'm a
CD.
liar,
Can we
you
get back
just
to the
put
regular
it on
scheduled
paper
meeting?
Excuse me,
and
hey,
accuse
hey,
me
we're done, we're
publicly.
done, we're not discussing
Yeah, we're not-
this.
yeah.
I'm making a motion that this is adjourned.
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay.
Mears,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Sim.
Yes.
Chin. And you get the Carl Lee's, and then pull the lights stuff off of it. Okay.